Welcome to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. When you hear the word chronically, do you automatically associate it with chronic disease? I know we all do. It's been programmed right into us. But what if we flip the whole idea on its head? Let's discover how we can create chronic health in our bodies, our minds, our finances, our relationships, and of course, in our lives. Let's jump right on in. I'm Andy, and joining me is my life partner and everything, Minna Wong.
So this week we talked about finances, right?
That's right.
And lately the news been all bad.
Yeah, I think we got downgraded, right? US as a whole got downgraded, and that's
I
sort of
know.
unheard of.
Yeah, what the heck does that mean, right?
Exactly.
So there's this credit rating agency called Fitch. It's kind of like an S&P and Moody's. They all do the similar things, but Fitch is based in UK. And I think it was a few days ago that they actually downgraded the US national debt. And and that is based on a few criteria such as erosion of governance, rising government, general government deficit. Of course, our Treasury Secretary called it a flawed assessment based on outdated data and tight unwarranted. It's like total denial.
And this fiscal year we ended September 30th, and I think we had 897 billion with a B interest alone. That's up like 70% over the last 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm. We talked about national debt before, which is at 32.6 trillion and going up. So yeah, based on outdated data, that number is actually going up. So, that's not good. And we all know that interest rate is going up. So if we have more debt, that means we have to pay more interest, which means eventually we get downgraded, and that's what happens.
Exactly. And this doesn't even take into account of social security, right? Or insolvency, right? Funds that's going to run out within the next decade. There's so many of us, well, personally I don't, but there's so many of us that's not running our own businesses that may be paying for social security, right? And most of us are expecting to retire to have social security payments, but with money running out in the next decade, and if you're in your, do my math, 30s or 40s, you're not going to have any social security when you're in your 60s.
Yeah, they're going to cut up right when we're actually retired.
Exactly, right?
So we're out of luck. Right. So social security, that's not even part of the whole equation of how this national thing downgrading works. That's another whole story that's not been taken into account. And, like Danny says, they're going to run out of funds. They say 10 years. I'm going to say less than that.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have some really flawed assumptions. See, the way Social Security works is the young people pay for the old people, right? Mm-hmm. We're paying for the people that's getting paid right now.
That's right.
And that's also based on a fertility rate of 2.
What does a fertility rate of 2 mean?
It means we're supposed to have 2 kids.
Oh, okay. Well,
which is not happening. And it hasn't happened since the 1960s. So what the heck, And of course, it's also based on inflation, estimated inflation of 2 to 3%. And you know what?
We're way over that 2-3%, no matter how they play with those numbers, right?
So either they can default eventually or do some kind of bailout, which means higher taxes, or they can cut payments, or they can raise retirement age until 120. Who knows?
And, I think we're starting to see higher taxes in certain states already. They're just taxing everything. You're going to hire gas tax, right? Even though oil came down dramatically, but gas prices are going back up. And that's due to higher gas taxes, from my understanding, right?
They're taxing everything they can. And part of the reason is that there's just the population, at least in the US, is aging.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, there's less young people paying for the old people. And because of that, they have to find some other ways to raise money, and they can either print it, which is what they've been doing, mm-hmm. or raise half taxes, or a combination of both.
And, recently Moody downgraded more banks, right? They downgraded 10 US banks?
Yep. And that includes the Bank of Mellon, New York, mm-hmm. Bank of New York Mellon, how to say, US Bancorp. And mm-hmm. That's based on Q2 results, which is usually end of June. Mm-hmm. And that's because their outlook is not looking too good. And they also changed the outlook of 11 major lenders in the U.S., including Capital One.
Capital One is one of the largest banks that's issuing credit cards like there's no tomorrow,
Yeah,
right?
you see them commercials, right? Taylor Swift and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, the Taylor Swift one. Yeah, those are the cutest commercials.
Right. So they're not doing well. So I guess the way to really say it is the outlook is not looking good, and that means because the higher rates, there's lower loan demands. We're seeing less mortgages that people are getting, and of course, Dow reacts badly to the news, and they dropped a few days ago, by quite a bit.
Correct.
So they're not liking the news.
Correct. Because people are just not qualifying for these loans now, right? With the higher interest rates, right?
And also, interestingly, there are actually less credit card loan debts than before.
Okay.
Which is interesting. As people are somehow waking up that's not good for them. So they're actually waking up, which is a good thing.
That's great. So they're using more cash than charging everything on credit card, which is a good thing, right? So you're not overspending what you don't have.
Right.
Perfect. And of course, there are certain industries that file for bankruptcy, and one of the ones that just filed for bankruptcy is Yellow Truck, and they're like a major freight hauling company across the U.S., right?
Yep, there's a big trucking company, about 30,000 employees. So all those people are out of job, which is, of course, a hit to the economy. And we're actually seeing a lot of industries that are in depression. They're not in the news, but think about commercial real estate.
Correct.
That's part of the reason why the banks are downgraded too, because they are really trying to sell those loans, and no one wants to buy the commercial mortgage loans from these banks. So that's part of the reason.
I think I read something, or you told me about two major hotels in San Francisco that Hilton owned, and they walked away from it, right? Because they just had so little vacancy that it didn't make sense keeping them anymore. They just give them back to the banks, right?
Yeah, they just walked away.
Wow.
And that's what's going to happen eventually to a lot of these businesses that they just can't survive. They have to walk away.
Correct. So why don't you tell us which countries are still in AAA? Because we used to be AAA, not AAA anymore.
Yeah, we used to be on top. Now there's other people on top of us. So the countries that's still in AAA status is Australia, Denmark, the European Union, the Germany, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Norway, Singapore, Sweden, and Switzerland. And this is just based on Fitch. S&P has their own list, which is similar, but I think they have some other ones. I think it's a couple more different countries on the list. But either way, U.S. is not on top anymore.
Wow, that's crazy. I thought we were the financial capital of the world, right? That's what U.S. seems to be in everyone's eyes. So what is your suggestion? Like, what should people do about the retirement if we're not even going to get retirement payments in the next 10 years, right? Because we were planning to retire, well, at least by age, in about 10 years.
So the thing is, with Social Security, we're paying into it. Well, you are paying into it by your paychecks.
Correct.
And it's based on how much you make. And supposedly, you are supposed to get paid out based on how much you paid in. I'm guessing that part of the changes that is going to come is that's going to be based on how much you saved up. You know how a lot of these financial advisors, they tell you to save, you need to save, I don't know, 2.5 million, whatever it is that for your retirement.
Correct.
If you're actually doing that, I am assuming that Social Security is going to say, hey, you got enough money, you're not going to take it. That's my guess. I don't know, but I think that's going to happen.
That's going to be a great excuse. You got plenty of money. Why do you need money from the government, even though we're funding it for the last 30, 40 years, right?
You know what? Young people still like that idea. I guess you don't deserve it, even though you paid into it.
That is so sad. But yeah, that could be just one of the few reasons to say why they don't have any money for us when we retire, right?
So basically, you need to fund your own retirement. You can do 401ks, of course, I think you know that. And then, of course, the Roth 401ks, which is post-tax, I guess, which I'm thinking that might be a good idea. That's just my opinion, because, interest rates are going up, tax rates also are going up. I am guessing that your tax rates in the future, even though you might be making less money than when you retire, I'm going to guess that's going to be higher, which means the Roth might be a better idea. Of course, if you own your own business, there's also a solo 401k, which you can direct how you invest money, which is a great idea.
But it's always probably best for them to talk to the financial advisors to see what's going to best work for them,
Of course, I'm just here to tap my head out.
right? We'll be right back after this short break.
We all hope to age gracefully so we can enjoy our later years full of energy, vitality, and good health. But so often, with age, our bodies start to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy, skin, healing and recovery time, sleep, it all just seems to go downhill. Unless you're using LifeWave X39, the world's first product ever to activate stem cells, a true breakthrough in regenerative science that helps restore our bodies to a healthier, more youthful state. The secret? By harnessing the power of LifeWave's patented phototherapy, X39 uses light to elevate a peptide proven to signal the activation of stem cells. Think about it. These are the cells that generate and regenerate all the cells and structures of the human body. They're the building blocks for our organs, tissues, blood, and immune system. They also serve as an internal repair system everywhere. But as we age, stem cells become less effective. Their ability to repair damaged tissue is reduced. In fact, by age 60, they've slowed dramatically. But all that changes when just one LifeWave X39 patch is placed anywhere on the body each day. It's time you experience the power of
Hi everybody, Kristy here. Okay, our next tip for stocking your child's backpack, and again, this is for elementary school kids, K through 5, and stocking them with things that don't make your teacher crazy, that actually make them love you. Next, we have pencils. This is kind of a big deal. Please do not give elementary kids mechanical pencils. The lead breaks. They're distracting. The kids are always clicking them, pulling out the bottom lead, refilling the lead. It is such a time waste. Please, no mechanical pencils for kids that are in elementary school. Same with the paper wrapped pencils. Yeah, they're pretty, but the paper, when it just destroys pencil sharpeners. So the kids are using the pencil sharpeners and they make a huge mess, and it's just not worth the pretty. It's just not. We say yes to just regular basic pencils, either the yellow or the black Ticonderogas. Those are all good with the number 2 lead. And if you can get them at the store pre-sharpened, it's even better, because then we don't spend the first day of class if everybody in line to sharpen their pencils. A little tip, just send 1 or 2 pencils in your backpack with your kids, because they lose them. So reserve them and dole them out as needed. It's a good strategy.
Welcome back to Chronically Healthy Life. You know, we ended on a note saying that we should take charge of our retirement, right? But when we take charge of retirement, that involves saving money, right? And saving money, it's hard. At least that's what we hear all the time. It takes a lot of discipline. And, you know, we're just going to go over 7 ways to boost your self-discipline.
Well, the first thing is to identify your weaknesses that may be holding you back. And the reason being that if you suck at doing something, you tend to not do it, or just take your time with it, and you sway away from it altogether. So whatever it is that you want to do, including saving money, my weakness is I tend to shop a lot on Amazon. So I need to recognize why I am doing these shopping online habits. So I have to figure out what to do with it and get ahead of it.
That makes total sense, because it's like a lot of times when I talk to families, they said they don't have any money left over to save. And then next thing I know, they have money for karate lessons. They got money for every single subscription of TV. And they got all this for all these other things, gym memberships, which they don't go to. And when you add that all up, that's like $500 to $700 a month which they could be saving towards their retirement.
Yeah, the problem is that they see savings as something that is a leftover, as opposed to something that is a priority. So, on before you even spend the money on the karate lessons and the gym and everything, put aside a savings for it. That should be your priority. And then you can do your gyms or whatever with the leftover money that you have.
I love that. So number 2 is visualizing your goals. So what does that mean, visualizing your goals?
Well, you think about retirement. What does your retirement look like? Right? I mean, is it just sitting at home doing nothing? Or do you see your retirement as something that you can go enjoy life, travel around, maybe spoil your grandkids a little bit, So that takes money. And, a lot of those financial calculators to tell you how much money you need for retirement, I think it's BS, because they always have a big chunk of that saved up because of medical bills.
Yep, I agree.
And if you listen to us, if you keep yourself healthy, you actually don't need as much money as people tell you that you need. But it's good to have a number in your mind, and that should be your goal. Just save up towards it.
And of course, it really depends where you plan to retire too, because that's going to make a big dent on how much money you need to live in that particular area too, right?
Yeah, so it's like finding a motivation. What motivates you to save? What kind of retirement do you want to have, right? So that should be a motivation.
That's great. Motivation could be just keeping your wife happy, right? Or if you have children, is making sure that your children are taken care of. They're not too worried about not having a home to live in, at least until they're old enough to get out. But yeah, there's so much motivation that we need to worry about towards saving, right? That's some disciplinary lessons we need to get ourselves adjusted to.
Right. So the thing about self-discipline, we talk about identifying weaknesses. You don't just identify them; you actually have to overcome it. Right. Figure out how do you overcome your weaknesses. Because when it comes to your life, you're the only one that's in charge. So you have to overcome it. Just figure out how.
That is cool. I like that one. That one's probably the hardest for me, is to overcome the obstacles. I see the obstacles, right? But sometimes I'm rewarding myself first, and that's what we need to think about. That's where it comes to the next tip, is developing successful habits, right? And I think that's important, right? So what are the best ways to save money for successful habits?
Well, in terms of savings money, then like I said, just put the savings as your number one thing, where the money goes, and then you allocate the rest. That's one habit. I don't know, what else can you do?
I heard, remember when we got the tips from Rachel, is like have only X amount of cash in your wallet for, like, you basically have little different bundles, right? You got $100 for groceries, you got $20 for entertainment, and that's all it is. Like that, once that stack is spent, that's it. You don't have entertainment anymore for the month. I think that's a great way, for building successful habits until you have that self-control, right? Not using your credit cards is a big problem.
Yeah, that's an easy system you can implement too.
Yeah.
And of course, depending on what is this that you're doing with your discipline, connect with a mentor. In terms of savings, find someone that's, that was in a similar situation as you, and see what they do. Ask them how they feel and what makes them do what they do.
Mentor is so important. We got so many mentors in our life, and the thing is, you don't want to be learning from school of hard knocks. You don't want to get the mistake and learning yourself, because a lot of times it can be very painful. So connecting with a mentor that gone through your journey you're going right now, so you don't have to go through that same journey, and learning from their mistakes is paramount, to helping you save money.
And of course, measure your progress. And in terms of savings money, it's you can easily see it measured, as easily measurable. If you have a different goal, it might be different ways to measure it, but you always want to see where you're progressing. And if you're not, then clearly you have a problem. You have to overcome it. Always measure it.
And of course, avoid distractions, right? There's so many distractions on social media, and of course, overcoming fear, right? Fear is a big one.
And, lastly, take action. You just have to do something about it.
Exactly. So hopefully one of these tips resonates with you. Just taking action with just one of these tips is going to get you so much further to helping you save a little bit more each month.
All right, so we can take a break and come back to biohack.
Hi, everyone. This is Kristy Boyd Johnson of the Barefoot Learning Club. It is a sad fact that today politics have completely taken over the schools. Real learning has been sacrificed for political agendas. As a result, kids are not learning to read. We have second and third graders barely reading, except for those lucky kids who will read no matter what the schools do to them. Unfortunately, that is not the majority. When I was teaching, I watched how really good reading systems were systematically eliminated from the schools. I saw kids shutting down and believing that they were too dumb to learn. Worse still, by making reading unattainable, they are essentially stealing our kids' futures. So the rebel that is me went on a quest to find reading programs that really work with our neurological systems to enhance and speed up the learning process. And the number one thing that needs to happen is that we have to teach our kids to read. That is why Alicia and I started the Barefoot Learning Club. We are giving everyone the opportunity to learn to read in a way that is simple, fast, and fun. Best of all, your kids will start having success and never again believe that they are too dumb to learn. Go to barefootlearningclub.com now and sign up. Join me in being a rebel and let's get our kids reading. If they can read, they can literally do anything.
Hi, it's Andy from Chronically Healthy Life, and on this week's biohacking episode, I want to talk about the benefits of glutathione. So what exactly is glutathione? Well, glutathione is known as the body's master antioxidant, and the benefits of having higher glutathione levels in your body is it can regulate inflammatory processes throughout the body. And inflammation in general is not necessarily bad, but when it gets out of control, that's when it can get bad. So it can, higher glutathione could help reduce oxidative stress. It can also reduce, skin tones, like if you have psoriasis or eczema. It can boost collagen production to help with fine lines and wrinkles and also improve joint health, right? That's what collagen can help with. It can also repair your liver. So if you're a heavy drinker, fatty liver disease, it can help with that. And, if you're accident prone, you get hurt all the time, guess what? Glutathione can speed up healing. It can heal your body faster. It can help you with open wounds heal faster. And of course, glutathione is also great for helping autoimmune conditions such as Parkinson's. It can help with diabetes. It can help with celiac disease. It may help with rheumatoid arthritis. And, glutathione is so powerful when it comes to boosting your immune system and helping with helping with respiratory diseases. We've gone through a few, in the last 3 years. It can help with that if you have high glutathione in your body, right? It can also reverse DNA damage, which is a really big one because, of course, you don't want our DNA damage and have problems down the road, right? And, one of the beauty is glutathione can, it can rejuvenate old stem cells, like dormant stem cells, specifically old dormant muscle cells. So, if you're getting a little older, you're noticing that you have less muscle tone, well, it can help with that too. So glutathione is normally made in your body. It's made by your liver. And if you have a diet that is high in glycine and cysteine, you shouldn't have any problem producing your own glutathione. As long as you're eating meat products, eggs, and dairy products, you should be covered. But what if you're vegan, right? And you're not eating any of those products? Well, for those that are vegan, I recommend that you supplement with NAC, or maybe eat foods that are high in sulforaphane, such as broccoli sprouts and Brussels sprouts. Things that don't taste too good. Anyways, that will actually change the cysteine for you, right? And when it comes to glutathione, as we get older, we're making less of it, right? Just like stem cells, as we get older, we get less stem cells. We talked about stem cells last week. So, and also if you or your body is stressed out, or maybe you have a poor diet, guess what? You're not going to make as much glutathione also. So what are the best ways to boost up your glutathione, you may ask? Well, there's a few ways you can do it. You can do it through supplementation. There are glutathione supplements out there that can probably boost you 15 to 20%, assuming you're taking continuously for 15 to 30 days and then continuously from there, then maybe you can keep it up there. Or you can get glutathione IV shots, like the IV infusions, which are great because it boosts you up right up to 30 to 40%. But what people don't realize is glutathione has a half-life of about 7 minutes. So even though it went up very quickly, well, in about 7 minutes, you're gonna have half that dose and then continues decline. So one of the things that we like to help people with is we like to help their bodies produce things naturally in their body to help them, recover quicker. And we do have a natural protocol that can help boost your glutathione about 30%, not just for the day, but throughout the day, 24/7, and boost your stem cell production while it's at it. And we actually have a specific protocol that can boost your glutathione 300% throughout the day without declining. How is that for boosting glutathione? If you're looking to find out more information on how to boost glutathione, this amazing product that your body normally makes, email us at glutathione@thefoolishcouple.com, and we'll share our protocol and help get you to the healthiest you.
Welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. Today, as our special guest, we have Chi, a first-generation immigrant from China who has always chased after a life of freedom. Throughout her life, she has been a self-made entrepreneur, owning multiple successful restaurants and investing in real estate. Through all these experiences, she has gained a deep understanding of the challenges faced by both business owners and, of course, employees. And in Chi's eyes, life is a journey filled with highs and filled with lows. But those who face challenges head on and keep pushing forward with unwavering faith will always find the light to the end of the tunnel. She believes that her path to Wealthwave, how money works, was not a coincidence, but a divine plan. She's been through many financial and economic crises, and it's through these hardships that she has come to understand why most people, they struggle to achieve financial freedom. This understanding has fueled her passion, her compassion for changing people's financial futures. She has made it her life mission to devote the rest of her life and energy to helping others gain financial literacy and live lives of abundance. Now, not only is Chi a dedicated entrepreneur, she's also a loving mother to 2 children and a proud grandmother to 4 grandchildren. Wow, amazing. Her words of wisdom, they ring true for anyone. Live each day with gratitude and be a guiding light for others. Join Chi on her inspiring journey towards financial freedom and abundance. Hi, Chi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much to be at your platform. I'm totally honored.
So, it sounds like you had such an amazing journey owning several businesses. You invest in real estate. These are things that most people think they need to do, like own a business and invest in real estate. But what really got you into thinking what is, important for, what led you on the path towards financial independence?
Well, I think my journey has been such a path where, coming to America, growing up, we have zero access to anything. When I shared that with my American friends, they were shocked.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just handed out to a book, which was written by the leader. And some of them may know Mao, and growing up in the 70s, going to school. And that was all we have. Mm-hmm. And we literally just remember recite his book. And deep in my heart as a young soul, and I knew something's missing. That's not enough. And so I'm always searching for something. I don't know what I'm searching for, right? Mm-hmm. And then after graduating, and I was just, given a job to work for a very prestigious international bank. And then from then, I saw another picture of people giving their life, entire life, to a job, repetitive work in a
Correct.
huge, beautiful building. And that's it. And I was like, wait a minute, is that what life is about? So after 4 years, opportunity came. I was able to, pursue my dream, American life. That was starting of American Dream, and then I got into another position of working for a post office for about 4 years. It's a repetitive same thing. People worked in the same job and all their life, and then all they talk is about retirement. What am I going to do when I retire? I said, what about now? Nobody talk about now. What is life about? So I knew something's missing. I was so unhappy, and I quit that job too. And then literally 4 months later, I started my entrepreneurial journey, opening my first restaurant. That's a change in my life. Okay. So back to how I came to this journey was another long journey, because I made a lot of money. I did well. I thought that's American dream. We work hard, earn money, and then save hard, and that's it. And then wait a minute, what happened? After I sold my first restaurant, boom, 2000 happened. Market crash. I didn't know anything about it. I gave all my money to a very large investment company. We all probably know Schwab. Less than a year, 90% of my investments were gone. That was devastating. I had to start over again from zero.
Correct.
That was my number one lesson. Number two, I had to go back to restaurant business again after I started earning and working hard. I said, okay, what do I do? How do I invest? Nobody knows. I was always looking for answer. I accumulated a lot of books, learned everything, still knew nothing about anything. And then, everybody's talking about real estate. Let's all jump in real estate. Great. I tasted a little fruit, did some flipping. Great. I thought I was so smart. And guess what happened? 2008, market crashed again. I had to literally make a determination what I should do. My daughter was 2 years old. I had some family crisis, and I just had to make a very decision. I had to let everything go. I'm not able to hang on to other asset that's giving me massive headaches, constantly chasing after tenants who are not paying rent. So these two monumental crises have really shaped me. I'm like, what am I doing? Why is it that I start a business, make money, always lose money? What is fundamentally wrong, right? So I took a break from entrepreneurship, even took some jobs, and even became international ESL teacher, and went to China and went back to my roots, spent some time with parents. And I was introduced to the business by my son. Deep in his heart, he knew my mom always worked hard, but why was she not able to get to where she is? What is something? That's how I landed this opportunity and started learning for me. Not only I'm able to now understand how money works, but also dig deeper into what is the really deep-rooted issue why most people cannot become financially free. It's from how you were brought up, your environment, your subconscious mind. And we people don't even know 88% of mind is controlled by our subconscious mind.
Wow, that sounds like an amazing journey. You've done what most people dream of, to become an entrepreneur, make lots of money where you can actually invest money. Most people don't even have money where they can start investing. And of course, stock market, that's the American dream also. Everyone invests in the stock market. And, it's heartbreaking hearing that, the loss. And that happened to so many people in 2000, right? It was like, I had people that dropped out of the stock market completely and put money under their bed mattresses after that. He said, never am I going to invest in the stock market. Because like you said, they lost like 90% of money they saved over the last 20, 30 years, right? And then into real estate, of course, we all say, hey, make enough money. We can invest in real estate. Real estate always goes up. You'll always win with real estate. And it's funny because you are the second financial consultant, that talked to me. It says real estate isn't always what it's meant up to be, because there's so many associated costs with it. And that's assuming that you're making money and it's paying off your mortgage or whatever.
that it's always going up, but it doesn't always go up. It can crash. And once again, it unfortunately happened to you in that time frame that it did crash. So yeah, it's not very safe. So it's very interesting that your journey has been what most people dream of doing, and you've done it. And now you saw, wow, there's a better way. And of all people, it's your son that actually introduced you to it. I think that's amazing, Chi. I think that's amazing. So why don't you tell us a little bit more why people need to learn more about, financial literacy? You talked about mindset. How does that all start?
I have worked with so many clients, whether they have zero savings or they may have accumulated millions of dollars from hardworking or business ownership. It doesn't matter. Those who don't have a lot, I feel very happy with where they are. Those who have accumulated a lot actually still can worry about money. Mm-hmm. So I think part of it is really our deep-rooted mindset. I wanted to share my own story, and I used to. I mean, I think most people that used to know me think, oh, that's all she talk about money. She worry about money and think money is everything. Mm-hmm. But truly, I think I just love freedom. Mm-hmm. To me, money is what gives me the freedom that I would love to enjoy. It gives you the lifestyle you're looking for.
Correct.
Okay? And people become slave to the money. Mm-hmm. And I like to use analogy. We always want to desire a perfect soulmate, boyfriend or girlfriend to marry one day. But I personally wanted to settle somebody less because I don't feel I deserve, right? Mm-hmm. Or I have fear, or maybe, and I'm fear of losing that person if he's too perfect. Same as money, right? Mm-hmm. Most people work, they say they actually, most people, they don't want to admit it. They love money, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. And then they work so hard, 2-3 jobs, and constantly hunting more money, trading their time for money. Mm-hmm. And they say, I don't care about money. Money is the root of evil. So it's in a way, it's contradictory to what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So your mind, your body, soul are not in alignment. So fundamentally, people need to understand, how you look at the money. How do you look at the money? What's your relationship to the money? And that's the number one thing they have to start. Because truly wealthy people, they love money, but they know what money can do.
Yes.
You could benefit churches you care. Mm-hmm. You could help homeless. You could create your own organization to just help more people.
Correct.
Because our highest calling in our human nature is to help more people. Mm-hmm. That's really what human desire. But if you cannot even help yourself, how can you help more people? If you are on a plane, the plane is going to lose its control. Mm-hmm. Who are you going to put in the mask first? Yourself.
Correct.
Got to start yourself first, and then we could spread more love to others.
I love that, because so many people, it's like you said, they demonize money. They see all these wealthy people and they think that money is a bad thing. But like we just said, it's like, how can you take care of anyone else if you can't take care of yourself, right? Everything does start with yourself and your mindset. I totally believe in that, like worry your mind. What you believe in is where you're gonna go. So if you're thinking that wealth is evil and you're basically having a poor mindset, everything you can do, you can be making more money, but you're gonna spending it all because you think having savings is a bad thing. But what you said was life-changing there. It's like, but it's not all about you. It's like how money can help others, how it can help your family, how it can help other businesses, nonprofits. You can donate to charities. This is what the power of money is, right? And so that's why a lot of people, they really need to change their mindset. I love that. I think mindset is so important, to start on financial literacy. But, even after mindset, like just say, okay, gee, I figured out I want to make money now. What do you think is the next step that people really need to get into?
Next step is to start learning. Mm-hmm. I think, a lot of people say, oh, I've got my CPA, I've got my financial advisor. Mm-hmm. let me ask that question. You have a doctor, right? Do you think your doctor can cure all your illnesses?
No.
Okay. So really, if you have a coach, and who is going to be the one that's actually going, physical coach, let's say fitness coach, you are a fitness coach, you know it. So you're training somebody, but who is the one that's actually going to take action and make it happen?
The
You.
person that I'm training, they have to do the work, right? I can't do the push-ups for them.
Exactly. They have to be mentally be ready.
Yes.
Same with financial planning, and most people, they basically want to give up ownership of their own rights. That is the completely wrong way. Say, oh, my doctor is going to take care of me, or my financial advisor is going to take care of me. That is so not true. You work all your life for your money one day so you can live free. But you know what? And unfortunately, you have to learn. You take ownership, because it's quite complex. And I want to tell you, most advisors don't even know. And I am one of them.
Correct.
And I admittedly tell people, I want you to be in the journey, learning with me, communicate. Anything you don't understand, let me take your hand. Let's go through that journey. But you've got to be free your mind. Don't allow fear to block your mind. Because that way, once your mind is open, then you're able to embrace it and you will be free. Money is bringing you freedom, you know? So when there's anything happen, you're not going to be blocking your mind.
Correct. So you're going to see more opportunities as they come towards you too, then I imagine.
Absolutely. Totally. Yes. So yes, thank you so much.
So, for financial independence, is it all about money?
No, financial independence is money just give you the ticket. Like, to me, wouldn't you want to live a life where money just come to you? You don't have to work for money. You wake up every day, you go to gym, and then you serve. You find an organization you could serve and help other people. You volunteer. We all want that life. I mean, we all want to serve more. But if you're still worried about paying bills every day, you could run out of money every day, and which a lot of seniors are going through all the time. Or you have health crisis, like that's your expertise, right? And if you don't take care of your health, and so many people in the last few years, they exhaust all their life savings during the last several years of their life because of health crisis. So
that is so true, because a lot of people, they don't think about it. They work so hard, they're not taking care of their health, and then later on, they don't even have enough money to take care of the health problems later on in their life, right?
Yeah. Because without the financial, people worry so much about money, and they ignore the health, and they ignore their mind, ignore their happiness, the soul, because our body are composed of 3 parts. In order for us to be fulfilled in a one unit, you got to be able to look at all 3 units, 3 parts: the soul and body and health.
Correct.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. And, why is it so hard for people to learn about financial literacy? Like, isn't this taught in schools?
Very, very good question. And that's an unbelievable question. Absolutely. It's not taught anywhere. I mean, we have people with PhD degree. We have people with finance degree and come into our firm to want to learn. And then once it's some of the basic concept that's, we address in the book, How Money Works. It's simple. It's written for 8th graders, but it's never taught. I mean, yesterday I just had a simple conversation with someone who is highly educated, who has been in a real estate investor for many, many years, but now feel like he's got burnout from, having to repair, maintenance, and constantly dealing with tenants. He said, like, okay, what can I do to get out of it? And then I just started introducing a simple concept, rule of 72. And almost 9 or 10 out of 10 I asked for have not heard of it. Or maybe I kind of heard of it. I don't really know. Maybe you can explain to me a little bit more.
Yeah. So what's the rule 72?
Rule 72 is created by Albert Einstein.
Okay.
I'm sure most people know this name.
Yes.
The simple mathematical formula, 72 divided by the interest rate equals how long it's going to take for your money to double.
Okay.
So if you earn 1% interest, 72 divided by 1, your money will double in 72 years.
Okay.
But we all know S&P average returns 8 to 10%. So let's say 10%. So 72 divided by 10 is 7. Your money, 7.2. Your money will double in 7.2 years.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So if you earning 1%, double 72 years. Do we have more than 172 years in our lifespan?
That's so true. Yes.
But we have many 7.2 years. The compounding effect of your money multiplication is unbelievably powerful. And that book will give you some examples, how compounding works. That simple interest, this simple concept, and guess what? Banks use it to profit for themselves. And then most people give the money to the bank so that their money can be compounded over the years. And then over the years, and then they turn around, borrow money from the bank, paying about 20 to 29% interest rate.
That's
so
right.
Your debt will double in 3 years. Your saving will double in 72 years.
Correct.
Is that fundamentally wrong?
It's totally wrong. But like you said, everyone does it. Like that's just life, right? Like they don't know better.
That's right. So that's why we cry for getting more people to become a financial educator professional so that more and more family can be saved.
So when it comes to learning more about, financial literacy, you mentioned, how money works. You have a tool to help people learn, and it's as easy for even 8th graders to understand. What's that tool about, and like how do people get a hold of this? Because it sounds like this is something that everyone should know about, or at least get started on their journey to financial freedom.
Totally. All they have to do, either I have a link right here, linktree.ee/Qidong.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Take a picture of that and then book a call with me. And then I will send you a complimentary book. It is available in Amazon for $17. But if you book a complimentary 15-minute meeting, I will mail you, or you can stop by my office. My office is in Plano, Texas. Actually, everything starts with the learning. And I really, really ask for everybody, don't be shy. Don't allow fear to stop you from moving forward. Take control of your financial freedom. This is one life. You got to live your life to the fullest.
I agree. And so if they reach out to you, they'll get this book for free, which normally costs $17 from Amazon.
Yep.
And of course, then once they read this book, do you recommend they read the book before they book the time with you, or so they can have a better understanding what to ask you? Like what are your suggestions?
I think either or is fine. I would start with introducing some basic concept, and that will motivate people to want to, get in reading the book.
So what does the book look like if you have a book there? Just to share with people.
Yes.
Oh, great. And it looks like it's a small book.
Yes. It's and we teach some basic concept, Rule 72, time, value, money, and also 7 money milestone. And number one, start with the learning, becoming educated about money.
That is so important. Thank you so much for being on the show and sharing your financial wisdom. Coming from someone that's an entrepreneur, did the work, seen the money go, and now still become financially independent. I think that is just very important to share to our viewers out there, because like you said, so many of us are working so hard for our money, but we're not making our money work hard for us.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you so much for being a guest on the show. Coming right up, we have our next biohacking tip for the week. When we hear chronically, we tend to think about chronic diseases and pains, but it doesn't have to be. You can be chronically healthy. Having a chronically healthy life means everything to us. Life stands for longevity, independence, family, and environment. And when you have these 4 things figured out, your life is going to be beautiful.
Our biggest threat to our health is hidden in plain sight. It is in our water. We can't see the poison and the radiation in our waters, but it is hurting us. Our soils are so depleted of nutrients, and when our soils are depleted, so are our foods. Our air is filled with pollution and chemtrails that there are days when we can't even go out and breathe the air. All these threats that we can't see, we can't hear, and we can't feel, but it is certainly hurting us.
There are more and more unexplained heart attacks, unexplained terminal cancer, unexplained young health adults suddenly dying for no explanation at all. Doctors are baffled. What happens when doctors don't have an answer? What happens if you ask your teacher a question and they don't have an answer for you? You go find your answer somewhere else.
And that's why we created Chronically Healthy Life. We are here to give you answers on how to keep you healthy and your family healthy. There is so much information. We can't tell you everything during our show, but we can keep you informed through our newsletters.
So go to chronicallyhealthylife.com and sign up for our newsletters. It is free and it is our gift to you. We want you to have a chronically healthy life, and we are here to help you get there. So go to chronicallyhealthylife.com and sign up. And when you sign up, you also get a free downloadable book, our book, Gut Matters, to start you on your journey towards optimal health.
Hello, we are Mutts and Meows Rescue, a 501c3 nonprofit, foster-based, no-kill group. Mutts and Meows Rescue pulls dogs and cats from surrounding shelters in the greater Houston area. We even pick up dogs and cats abandoned on the streets. Mutts and Meows Rescue is foster-based and rely on your donations to keep rescuing. To know more about us is to know more about our furry friends and help them find their forever homes. Come visit us at Mutts and Meows Rescue on Facebook today and decide how you can make a difference.
Hi, this is Clara Capano, your host for Women Winning Their Way, where we talk about how you can create success all on your terms. Join us Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Limelight Network here on E360 TV.
Welcome back to Chronically Healthy Life. I think if there's one thing we want you to take away from this episode is that when it comes to money, you have to take it in your own hands. You have to learn it and manage it yourself. You can't rely on the government, obviously. Even if you're financial advisors, it's kind of like she said about doctors, right? Yep. They can't help you. Honestly, doctors would rather you be not completely healthy, but my opinion. But anyways, when it comes to money, just make sure you learn yourself. You have to manage it yourself, and you have to take action.
School's starting soon. Next week, we have returning guest Suzanne Garcia, and she's going to have a lot to share for all the parents out there. Join us here on Fridays at 7 p.m. CST. You can watch past episodes at watch.e360tv.com in the Vitality Network. Also, we love to hear from you. You can give us your comments on our Facebook page, Chronically Healthy Life. And remember to watch this episode on our website, chronicallyhealthylife.com, or our YouTube channel. And of course, you can email us anytime at anything at chronicallyhealthylife.com.
See you next week.